Okay, welcome to another AQA Comp 1 2013 Programming Exam Solution tutorial, and this is Pest6a. I've jumped a little bit, but I will go back and do the others. But this is quite an interesting one, and it's actually Pest6 is going to be a series of 4 videos, and what we're going to do is introduce brute force as a method of decryption. Look, I'm assuming that you know the code, you've read the pre-release, that you're familiar with the book, and you've looked at the wiki book, and I don't know what's in the validation chapter here, but you know how the 3 encryption methods work. Sorry, you don't need to know about validation, but here's the basic idea of brute force. We all know that decryption depends on a key. If you have the key, you can decrypt it. So what brute force does is simply try every key possible, and that's it. Eventually you'll find the key that works, and of course better encryption methods have a more obscure key with more possibilities, or ideally stop this brute forcing working. But ultimately, if you know the format of the key, you can simply try every single key. The nice thing is that Caesar cipher, rail fence and steganography all rely on integer keys, and they've all got reasonably small ranges. Caesar cipher, we only have to loop through 1 to 26. Rail fence and steganography, they've got a bit of a larger range, but if we went from 1 to 50, it's not the end of the world, is it? But how do we know which key is correct? I mean, within the scope of this exam, I can't see us automating finding which key is correct. I just don't see it working. It's very, very hard. I mean, if I know there's a particular word, I can of course search for it, but we don't. So let's just assume that what we're going to have to do is just simply output all of the different decryptions for all the different keys, and the user has got to simply spot which ones make sense and work from there. So how are we going to code this? We can obviously try and brute force Caesar cipher, rail fence and steganography, but I'm going to do them in separate videos. And just to spice it up a little bit, I'll make the Caesar cipher the absolutely easiest one. The rail fence, we'll output it to a file just to do something different, because to be honest with you, these two are identical in their way they work in terms of applying this brute force method, and it's reasonably straightforward. So we'll output this one to a file, we'll output this one to a screen, and we'll have a nice format. For the steganography, what we'll do is we'll chuck the code in a separate procedure so we can see what parameters we'd have to pass down. There's no real reason why we've got to do this, other than maybe with all the opening and closing of files that are involved with that, it might be a little bit nicer for that to be in a separate file. So if you look out for Pest6b, 6c and 6d, you will learn how to apply the brute force method to each of these. I mean, as it happens, now I've introduced it to you, you could have a go before looking. But look forward to speaking to you in the next Pest.